Alright, moving on. 1v3 games. Fish and Drips. This one's a little weird. Like, the concept is a little weird. The framing of it is a bit weird. Fill a tank with water for a Cheep Cheep. The first team to fill the tank wins. The one player has a big, weird, complex mechanical pump, and the 3 team has a bucket relay.
Huh.
So it's basically push the button on screen to make the thing happen, but the one player has a sequence of buttons that they have to push in order, and the 3 players, each of the 3 players has one button that they need to press to pass on their bucket. If the one player makes a mistake at any point, then they will reset that current block of 6. If the 3 players, any of the 3 players make a mistake, it will, like, cost them a little bit of time. They'll, like, get angry and not pass the bucket. But, yeah, you fill the thing and you drop the fish and that's the win. And here's what it looks like if you're screwing up. You see the one player there, I'm screwing up the buttons and it resets the pattern back to the start, so... and then over on the buckets, that's what it looks like. Mario is going all darn if he's pushing the wrong button. And it looks slightly different if you're at the head. It's like, oh, I can't pass the bucket!
I don't know how to bucket.
So, that's this game. It can be a lot easier for the one player if, like, they're good at seeing the button chain and pushing things quickly. Because otherwise, it's the 3 team just has to make, like, quick reactions to the one press. I found the one being much easier on that.
So what's this?
Hop or pop? The 3...
Which one is it?
It's both.
Oh.
Potentially. So the 3 players are in balloons, and they're hopping around, and the one player is in a spiky ball and tries to pop them.
What?
So the player in the one player in a ball can move around and jump, and everybody else can change directions and jump, and if the balloons time their jumps right, then they can combo jump to jump further.
This doesn't make any sense.
So, here we have, you know, you can see we've got them in the balloons, and there's the big spiky ball, and the spiky ball is very slow, and changing momentum is very hard. It's a very heavy thing, so... But, if...
You have no problem with it.
Absolutely no problems whatsoever. I found this game incredibly easy on both sides of the equation. Because I'm real good with moving that ball around, but I'm also real good at just dodging. So you can see, like, if you watch Mario there, it's like, there's the... Sometimes I just like to spin around. You see there's, like, the short hop, then the long hop, then the big hop. That's the... If you, like, jump just as you're landing, then you'll get a longer jump, up to a chain of 3. So if you're in a balloon, you can just kind of use that to dance circles around the one player in the spike ball, and, like, they just will not be able to turn fast enough to catch you. And if you're in the spike ball, then you want to kind of be clever with, like, using your jump to change directions a bit faster, adjust your momentum, and try to, like, fake them out by trying to look like you're going in one direction, but veering off a different one. I found it fun and easy. Money belts. This one's a bonus game. Everybody is on conveyor belts, and there's money, and also candy. Candy is bad.
Right.
Avoid the cookies and sweets on the belt to grab the coins.
What? Why?
Everybody's controllers just move.
Okay.
Sweets come off the conveyor belts on the left and right too, so watch out and be careful.
What? Why do we not like sweets?
Well, because, you see, we're on these conveyors here, and we hop out of our boxes, and here come the sweets along the conveyors and the sides there. And there's also coins, but the sweets are physical objects that are solid and will push you, and you can't move through them, so that stops you from grabbing coins. And if you fall off the belt, then you fall off, and you come back in another box from one of the side conveyors. So, you run around to grab as many coins as you can. the one player is up on the top belt, the team is on the lower belt. The team has to deal with significantly more sweets because you've got the sweets coming from the sides as well as from underneath the top belt. But there's 3 of them, so you've got 3 players who can all collectively join together to grab the coins, and they all share in the full amount of coins that they grabbed. This one, goal! It's soccer.
It's soccer.
It's soccer.
Football.
The one player is the goalie. Everybody else is kicking soccer balls at the goal. If the team gets 3 goals in, they win. If the one player survives for, 30 seconds, then they win. So you've got, the one player can move and dive with A, the other players adjust their aim with the control stick, and they hold down A to determine the power of their kick.
It's a very small goal. Relatively speaking.
I mean, you've got 3 people kicking balls at it and only 1 person to block it, so, it can't be particularly large. So you can see there, they can dive to try and catch the balls if they're off to the sides. If you're one of the kickers, you don't want to aim the stick all the way in one direction or the other, because then you just will not kick into the goal at all. And you don't want to hold your power too high, because then it will hit the top of the goal and won't go in. You can see it counts up the goals in the upper right there. That's those stars. Marks there. And you can see Mario there kicking way off to the side. That's what happens if you're aiming poorly, if you kick too high or too far off to the side. As the kickers, you kind of want to try to coordinate to, make sure that you're putting all of the balls in different spots of the goal at roughly the same time. But also, the balls are physics objects that can collide with each other. So, you've got to be careful not to screw up your teammates' shots. So, it's kind of nifty. It's an alright game. Blame it on the crane! It's a crane game!
Is that a adage or something?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe?
I feel like it's supposed to be a reference.
Anyway, the one player has the crane and the other 3 are in these little gachapon balls. And the one player uses A to push the crane and release to drop it, and everybody else has the stick to move. And there's also Shy Guys, and they are not worth anything. They just, if you try to grab a Shy Guy, you'll just drop it immediately and kind of lose a little time.
Maybe it's supposed to be blame it on the rain?
I don't know. It's...
Well, why a crane, then?
So anyway, if you grab a Shy Guy, then it just kind of lifts and drops it, and that loses you the time that it took you to pick up the Shy Guy. That's about it. Otherwise, you're aiming the crane to try and grab the people, and everybody else is moving around on this little spinning platform to try and avoid getting grabbed. You grab someone and you dump them in there, and it's just like the little prize klaxon thing. That's the game.
Prize klaxon.
So, if the one player grabs all 3 of the opponents, then they win. If any of the 3 are still around, out by the end of 60 seconds, then the team will win.
Yep.
I found this one weighs pretty heavily in favor of the one player. Just because of how much time you've got, if you're even halfway decent at grabbing. And also, even if the timer runs out, if you have someone in the claw, you still get them.
I'm the winner.
Yes, you are.
So yeah, it's pretty heavily in favor of the one player. If you're one of the 3 players, generally what you want to do is you'll want to walk against the rotation to, have longer between when you end up in the spot where you can be grabbed. Because you can only be grabbed in that one little slice area where the crane is. So you want to walk against the rotation until you get to that point, and then you walk with the rotation to kind of dash past. And it has a variable It doesn't work as well against higher level computers. Against easy computers, it's pretty consistent. You can just easily dodge them all the time. But against higher level computers, you might need to change up how fast you're going through at different times. Otherwise, that's it. It's a fairly simple game.
But what is your strategy against a real player?
Pretty much about the same.
Okay.
Because you walk against the rotation to reduce how many times they get the chance to grab you and dash through.